Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
It basically just reinforced the fact that inflation is rising at astronomical levels. It is the highest rate of inflation in 40 years. 7.5% is what that number came out to. And basically it means that everything is getting more expensive and it's showing no signs of slowing down. Now the Fed has kicked around ideas of raising rates, and quite frankly, I believe that they are going to do it. Because there's several things that, looking back at previous times they actually did rate hikes, that it doesn't necessarily signal a catastrophic end to stocks, bonds, and any related assets. However, it can make things pretty volatile, and Bitcoin is no stranger to volatility. Okay, so what is it doing right now? Well, a couple of days ago, it was at 43,000. It ramped up to 45, touching 46,000, and then the news came out about the bad CPI numbers yesterday, which it then pulled back and retraced down to about 43,000. Not nearly as bad or nearly as much of a loss as it could have had compared to the rest of the stocks and other asset industries. This is typically a good sign because in the last 2 weeks, Bitcoin has pretty much been on its way north. So last month when this happened, Bitcoin basically just stayed flat for a week. When horrible news came out about ridiculous inflation numbers, the CPI index was off the charts, Bitcoin basically just stayed flat until it actually hit a downtrend resistance level and finally fell all the way down to 32,000, for which it emphatically bounced off of and has been climbing ever since. It then broke out of that downtrend resistance and is now up against some new resistance right around the 45 to 46. So this is something that we are definitely going to keep an eye on. And the rest of the altcoin markets, specifically XRP right now, is basically following Bitcoin. There really isn't many that have decoupled or that have broken out of it. XRP, a lot of people were expecting another breakout, but quite honestly, I don't think XRP is actually going to have that big breakout, A, until this case is over, and B, until Bitcoin shows that it's going to continue another leg up in this bull run. It was at 92 cents the other day. It is now at 82 cents and pretty much mirrors what Bitcoin is doing. So like I said, that key resistance, 45 to 46,000, it's really got to break that 46,000 mark before it can continue upwards, and it has to do so with conviction and a little bit of volume. Alright, so now let's talk about our favorite topic, the Ripple versus the SEC case. Because just yesterday, Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple filed a motion to compel the SEC to produce a letter, specifically a letter that has some notes in it from a meeting that Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, had with then Commissioner of the SEC, Commissioner Roisman, and his counsel, Matthew Easterbrook. Now, Ripple has known about these notes. They've made mention of these notes several times in the past couple of months. In fact, these were some of the documents that they wanted the SEC to turn over for the past couple of months. And when the judge asked them to, this is when the SEC said, nope, these documents are privileged. We are claiming a DPP, deliberative process privilege, which means you can't see them. So in Ripple's letter today, Ripple outlined why they should not be considered a privileged document, because for number one, it has nothing to do with the investigation into Ripple in this case, and number two, it actually has no bearing. It is now at 82 cents and pretty much mirrors what Bitcoin is doing. So like I said, that key resistance, 45 to 46,000, it's really got to break that 46,000 mark before it can continue upwards, and it has to do so with conviction and a little bit of volume. Alright, so now let's talk about our favorite topic, the Ripple versus the SEC case. Because just yesterday, Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple filed a motion to compel the SEC to produce a letter, specifically a letter that has some notes in it from a meeting that Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, had with then Commissioner of the SEC, Commissioner Roisman, and his counsel, Matthew Easterbrook. Now, Ripple has known about these notes. They've made mention of these notes several times in the past couple of months. In fact, these were some of the documents that they wanted the SEC to turn over for the past couple of months. And when the judge asked them to, this is when the SEC said, nope, these documents are privileged. We are claiming a DPP, deliberative process privilege, which means you can't see them. So in Ripple's letter today, Ripple outlined why they should not be considered a privileged document because, for number one, it has nothing to do with the investigation into Ripple and this case, and number two, it actually has no bearing on any of the future policies that the SEC may make. They weren't actually using these notes as an exercise or something that would that they could basically look back on and depend on for future policy making, which was considered a deliberative process, and those types of documents are able to be protected. However, this was not. So on November 9th, 2018, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, met with Commissioner Roisman, and in that meeting, according to Brad Garlinghouse in one of his depositions, he actually said Roisman made the comment that, "I'm sorry you even have to be here." I think the confusion as to the status of XRP he viewed as not healthy for the market. This goes to show and totally backs up Ripple's fair notice defense, which is what they are claiming, that there was no clarity back then and even before then, especially from the SEC, that back then the commissioner of the SEC and the other chairman that were on the board at the time didn't have actual status of XRP, and even they knew that there was confusion in the market and that there was legal purgatory, as Brad Garlinghouse put it, in which there was no ruling one way or another. Everything was just up in the air. This is why Ripple is claiming fair notice defense, because for years they were meeting with the SEC and never got any type of clarity on the status of XRP, of it being a security or not. As we know, if you explain it properly, there's no way it could be a security, but that is slowly starting to come out, and the SEC is continually looking for ways to actually hide these documents, claiming deliberative privilege process, and I just don't think it's going to work. Here's why. Ripple's attorneys in this letter pointed out that the SEC has already made this argument a couple of times regarding some of the other documents that Ripple wanted them to release. And the judge actually agreed with Ripple and said, nope, you cannot claim process based on some notes from some meetings that took place a couple of years ago. This is probably the second or third time that the SEC is claiming this. And the last time, as Ripple pointed out, the judge rejected that and forced the SEC to turn over those documents. But in this case, what's been going on for the past couple of months has been a big game of when will the SEC turn over documents? Will the SEC turn over documents? Will we get settlement before the SEC has to turn over those documents? Will we actually make it to trial? Well, those are the big trillion-dollar questions in this market. And I think there's a lot more at stake for the SEC than just, are they going to lose this case versus Ripple? They could definitely lose standing against any other cryptocurrency company that they would hope to go after. And there is some shady stuff coming out, even more so about the Ethereum gate, the previous SEC regime, and the major conflict of interest that they had in giving Ethereum its free pass, and the total confusion as to Bill Hinman's speech, Was it his personal opinion, or was it guidance? Because there are 63 emails that they are supposed to be producing that Ripple wants to get their hands on. And that, along with some of these notes, like I just explained, could blow huge holes in the SEC's case. So that's what we are waiting on right now. And we have another upcoming date, which is February 17th. We're going to be seeing what kind of documents that Ripple actually turned over to the judge and to the SEC, albeit heavily redacted, in which they say it backs up their case against the SEC. And we're going to see some very minimal redactions to these. February 17th, that is a key date. So if you want to follow that, along with an order that the judge could be giving very shortly regarding these notes from a Brad Garlinghouse meeting with former Commissioner Roisman.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.